up, everyone, and welcome back to the Sean Bailey Fit channel. It is good to see you as always. In today's video, we are getting into a little bit about strength training. For anyone who has started or has thought about starting on a strength training program, I'm sure one of those main reasons was because you wanted to add some muscle definition. I mean, let's be honest, we all would definitely love to feel ourselves getting better and getting stronger, but we also want to see ourselves getting better and getting stronger as well. So today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to tone and get some definition in those muscles. The concepts I'm going to be teaching you today are good for all levels of fitness, whether you are a beginner or if you are very experienced. And that is because no matter what level you are at, in order to keep making progress, you are going to need to have variation. So regardless of the specific muscle group you're working on, or even the specific exercise that you are doing, we're going to be talking about different ways to add variation and change in order to keep making progress on that muscle. What that means is you should take into account resistance, repetitions, sets, tempo, and angles, which I like to call Rasta. Yeah, I just made that up. Use it if you want. By taking into account these 5 steps, you will be able to effectively tone your muscles. Now, for today's video, I will be just using the normal bicep curl as our example, but this is good to use for just about any different exercise or muscle group that you want to focus on. For resistance, this is taking into account the type of weights you use or the type of resistance you will be using, as well as how much weight or resistance you will be using. Using free weights along with resistance bands will give you some very good variation for any exercise. Free weights are going to give your muscle a very solid and consistent resistance throughout the entire exercise, simply because that weight is not going to change. While resistance bands are going to really give you a really tough contraction at that full flexion, because the resistance changes the tighter you pull it. Both of them alone are very good and very effective, but a combination of the two is really going to be a little bit more efficient for progress, as they'll give you a little something that you may be missing with the other. As I said, free weights are going to give you a solid, consistent resistance through the entire exercise. But the one thing that a lot of people miss, which may be one of the most important parts, is full contraction at full flexion. And what that means is just getting a really full, hard pull on that bicep at the very top, because your arm's already tired getting up there, so you may not get that full, tight contraction at the very end. While resistance bands, as I said, get a little bit tighter the more you pull on them. So the beginning of the exercise may not be as tough and may not get you the best resistance, but you will get that full contraction at the very end, which is going to make you really stress on that muscle and really get the full flexion and contraction you need. So depending on your goals and what you're looking for, you may want to work towards one or the other, or depending on how much you want to do with one or the other. Now, repetitions is very simple and pretty much self-explanatory, so I won't dive too much into that, but just keep into account the amount of reps that you are doing for each exercise. If you're looking to build more muscle mass, you're going to want to use a heavier weight and keep your reps in about a 6 to 8 rep max. This is really going to help build more muscle mass. While if you're just looking to tone muscle, you're going to have a little bit lighter weight, but you're still going to want to get at least 15 to 18 reps for each exercise. No matter what your overall goal is, just keep in mind that you still want to work your muscles as much as possible. So what that means is on that final 2 to 3 reps that you have for each exercise, you're going to want to feel that muscle fatigue. So if you're not feeling much fatigue at the very end, that may mean you might need to get a little bit heavier weight. Now, sets go hand in hand pretty much with repetitions. So sets are just the amount of rounds that you'll be doing for each exercise. If you're really looking to build on your muscle mass, you really want to try to work yourself up to at least 4 to 6 sets of each exercise. While if you're just looking to tone some muscle, you want to have probably about 3 to 4 sets of each exercise. Now, for beginners, regardless of what your goal is, you definitely want to start with about 2 to 3 sets of each exercise, just so that you can really see and feel how your body reacts to this new exercise and really work your way up. So just really stick with that 2 to 3 set range, and for I'd say about at least a week or two, until you really can feel and see how your body is reacting. Tempo is probably one of the most important aspects of exercise, as it controls your intensity and how hard you are working. Not to mention, it really requires safety. If you are working at a tempo that really causes some jerking movements, please stop. It's really not going to help you in the long run. Not to mention, it might pop one of your joints out of the socket right there on the spot. Those jerking movements also require some momentum, so you're moving your body as it just kind of helps you build up and move those weights around. And it's almost like you're just cheating on a test. So yeah, you did get it finished and got it done, but did you really learn or get anything out of that? Those movements with that momentum are getting you to lift and say you lifted so much weight, but it is not building up your muscle because the rest of your body is helping you get that weight up, not the specific muscle you're working on. Everything should be done at a very controlled pace. So whether you are trying to do a little bit of muscle toning or muscle building, you still want to be in full control during the exercise. If you're really looking to build more muscle mass, you're going to want to use a little bit slower movement, which is going to help build muscle in what's called hypertrophy. If you're really looking to just tone and burn fat, you can use a little bit more of just a normal controlled pace, which is going to help you be able to do those higher amount of repetitions and burn a little bit more calories and fat. Our final aspect is angles. Now, our body is able to move and shift in different ways, and our muscles are the key factor to that. And working your muscles at different angles is going to be able to help you build muscle and tone it better than you ever have before. Everybody has heard the concept of keep your muscles guessing. What that kind of relates to is just not doing the same motions and movements with exercise, because eventually your body is going to adapt and pretty much get used to it, so you're not going to see the same progress. So angles is a great way to add different resistance and different types of exercise to keep those muscles guessing. So as I said with our example for the bicep curl, just doing your standard bicep curl is not going to feel the same and get the same result as doing a bent over bicep curl. It's also the same thing for a bent over bicep curl, or even a standard one is not going to get you the same as angling your arms out a little bit to get an angled out bicep curl. These kinds of angle variations are going to be very effective in toning your muscles. But keep in mind that you do need to be doing all of these in a very safe and controlled motion. So if you're a little unsure of whether this angle that you're doing or if something you're doing is safe, be sure to consult with a professional who can definitely give you some help. So overall, muscle toning is all about adding variation and very different aspects to each exercise that you're doing. Building and toning muscle is basically like building an armor. Your body is going to react to the strain that is being put on it with those exercises, and it is going to work to defend itself against that exact same strain. So if you continue to do the exact same exercise and the exact same motions, eventually your body is going to catch on and be able to defend against that strain, which means progress will begin to slow down or even stop. Definitely put these concepts into your routine in order to continue making progress and toning those muscles. And like I said, remember Rasta. Resistance, repetitions, sets, tempo, and angles. Now, if you have questions on any of the things that I talked about today or want to know a little bit more, as usual, go ahead and comment here below or reach out to me directly. You can always reach me on my Instagram page at Sean Bailey Fit, or just reach out to me directly via email or my website, SeanBaileyFit.com. Definitely thank you for watching this video today, and of course, I will be seeing you in the next one.